welcome to Nine Nails Garage. Today we're going to be installing and reviewing Rough Country's double carbon drive shaft on my wife's 2017 Jeep Wrangler JKU. We currently have a 4-inch lift, Rough Country X Series lift kit on this Jeep, and the current drive shaft, the stock drive shaft, just isn't working. It's touching the exhaust, even just on the road, on the highway, driving down the road. You can hear it touching the exhaust. So we're going to go ahead and install this new drive shaft. This drive shaft will fit a 2012 to 2018 Jeep Wrangler JKU with a Dana 30 to Dana 44 axle. It's recommended on Jeeps with a 2.5-inch long arm or 4-inch short arm lift kit and up. So this will give you the clearance you need to go off-road and articulate in different situations. I do want to give a shout out to Rough Country for hooking us up with this drive shaft to review and install here and to fix our problems that we're having with this Jeep. So the tools you're going to need to install this Rough Country drive shaft are a basic set of sockets. You got your 1/4-inch, 3/8, and 1/2-inch. You got long extensions, going to need those. Also the 3/8, and a dead blow hammer, along with a wheel puller set. This is just a basic steering wheel puller set that I got from Harbor Freight. You can rent them from your local O'Reilly, Napa, AutoZone, whatever it is. Tools out of the ordinary are this 1 1/8 socket. That's to get the nut that's on the Dana 30. 1 1/4 socket to get the nut that's on the transfer case off. And a basic set of impacts. Got 3/8 and 1/2-inch. Don't have to be battery powered, they can be air, but it's gonna make your life a whole lot easier. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with showing you what the old drive shaft's doing and what we don't want it to do, and then we're gonna go ahead, remove that drive shaft and install the new one. All right, so here you can see we have the old drive shaft in here. And you can see just how close it is to the exhaust right there. There is maybe a 1/4-inch gap in there. See that old boot is already ripped there, and it has contact with the exhaust. We haven't taken the Jeep off-road yet with this setup, but you can tell if you did take it off-road, it would instantly touch and be no good. So some people put exhaust spacers on to move the this Y-pipe back, and actually closer to this cross member here. And that does help out, gives you more clearance, but that's just not what I'm after. I want a drive shaft that will articulate and give us the performance we need off-road. So we're gonna go ahead and jack up the front, and I'll show you just how little it takes to get that drive shaft to contact the exhaust. So there you go, I put a jack underneath the frame on the Jeep and I jacked it up about a 1/2-inch. And that 1/2-inch was all it took to get our drive shaft to contact the exhaust right there. And that could easily happen from an expansion joint on the freeway or going across a bridge or many things. Off-road, it's definitely gonna happen. So we're gonna go ahead, remove this old drive shaft, compare it to the new one that's in the box over here, and then we'll go ahead, install the new one and review it. All right, so there's that new Rough Country double carbon drive shaft. There's a double carbon joint right there. Everything is greasable. We got grease fittings here, which is absolutely wonderful. We've got new differential yoke and new transfer case output yoke as well. See, greasable Zerk fitting there as well. And another greasable U-joint. And our hardware to put it on. So I think the hardest part about this is going to be getting the old drive shaft out and getting the old yokes off. All right, let's go ahead and get started removing the old drive shaft. So now that we got the old flange off, we're gonna go ahead and install the new yoke supplied with the kit. I went ahead and threw some gear oil on it so it slides in the seal okay and it doesn't rip or tear it. Once you get it on there, past the seal, go ahead and check all the way around the seal and make sure the seal isn't pushed in and it's sitting properly all the way around. Once it is, push the rest of the way in there, put your nut on. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and do the same thing with the transfer case output. Alright, so now that we got the old one out, we're gonna go ahead and install the new one. Same way as the old one. Put a little bit of assembly lube on there. Go ahead, slide it on. Make sure it goes in the seal correctly. And tighten up the nut. Alright, so there you have it. Both drive shafts are out of the Jeep. Though the stock one looks bigger, it looks like it'd be stronger, well, looks can be deceiving. This one is gonna be overall a lot stronger. It's serviceable, has grease fittings on all the U-joints and the slip joint there, versus this old one. That is point of failure right there, weak joint. And this new drive shaft is gonna give us the clearance that we need to articulate off-road. So we're gonna go ahead, throw this new drive shaft on, and take it for a test drive and also flex it out and make sure it doesn't contact the exhaust. Alright, so now that we got the transfer case side of the drive shaft connected, we're going to go ahead and mount this side to the axle using these supplied U-bolts. Shaft installed, we're going to go ahead and test our clearance by flexing the Jeep out and also testing the droop on the front axle. First, we're going to go ahead and disconnect our sway bar links. Alright, so there you have it. We have the front axle at full droop, jacked it up. We put jack stands under there, and then we let the jack down. See, the jack is not touching that axle. And the drive shaft actually is touching the exhaust. So maybe we do need to go ahead and get a set of exhaust spacers just in case we do get high centered on something and we have the axle at full droop. What's up, everyone? It is the next day after we installed our new rough country drive shaft in our 2017 Jeep Wrangler. We ran out of time last night, so we didn't take the Jeep for a ride, but we're gonna go ahead, start it up, take it for a ride now, make sure we don't have any vibrations, clearance is good, and we're gonna flex it out in the ditch. Let's get to it. So far so good. We got the Jeep cruising at 70 miles an hour down the freeway. No weird noises, no vibrations. Everything seems to be good. So we're gonna go ahead, turn around, head back home, and put this thing in four-wheel drive and flex it out. Alright, so there you go. We got a pretty good flex on it. I don't have a flex ramp. All I have is my driveway. Off-road park is too far away. But as you can see, pretty decent flex. And that drive shaft is nowhere near touching the exhaust. Right there. So I'd say overall, that's a success. The rough country drive shaft is a great drive shaft for the money at $300 compared to some of the other ones go all the way up to around $600-800. So it's a great drive shaft. It'll do what you need it to do, and replacement parts are easy to get for it. So I hope this helps some of you out. If you're just lifting your Jeep and you're looking at different drive shafts for it, that'll be all for today's video. Thanks for watching.